Welcome to the Daily Devotional Podcast with author, pastor, and speaker Zach Maldonado, a podcast about helping you know and enjoy Christ each day.
I don't know why, but Christians have this weird obsession with trying to fake humility. Like we have this weird obsession of trying to be humble, and in the name of humility, we make up these crazy beliefs and we try to make it seem like we're honoring God or something. And one of them is this idea that we must decrease so that God increases. It's found in John 3:30. And once again, we love to rip passages out of their context and apply them and make them this spiritual thing we're supposed to do. And so John is speaking and he's saying, you yourselves are my witnesses that I said, I'm not the Christ, but I've been sent ahead of him. So John's purpose, John the Baptist, he was a forerunner. He was sent ahead to tell people about Christ. And it says, he who has the bride is the groom, but the friend of the groom who stands and listens to him rejoices greatly because of the groom's voice. So this joy of mine has been made full. So John is saying, look, I'm not the groom. I'm just the friend. And my joy, my ministry has been made full because I've done what I've accomplished. I've done what I've been told to do. That's tell people about Jesus. I'm not Jesus. I'm pointing to the one who is. Then he says in verse 30, this is where all the bracelets come from, John 3:30. He must increase, but I must decrease. He who comes from above is above all. The one who is only from the earth is of the earth and speaks of the earth. And so in context, what's John talking about? He's not telling us to apply this every day to our lives. He's saying, my ministry needs to go away so that his can arrive. So John's ministry went away as Jesus has started. His decreased, Jesus increased. Are you John the Baptist? No. Neither am I. So this is not some passage we stick onto ourselves and apply every single day. I mean, it's insane, and that's not even what biblical humility is. I mean, think about it. Let's flesh this out. Okay, does God want to use you? Obviously, everyone agrees with that. Yes. Okay, so if you are saying that it needs to be less of you and more of him, or that you need to decrease so that he can increase, don't those contradict? Okay, so Romans 6 says you're an instrument of God. Are you an instrument of God, or do you need to get out of the way? Which is it? As my friend Andrew Farley says, we're not obstacles to God. We're not obstacles to God. We think we're obstacles. We think we're in God's way. We think God can't use us. But it's clear. God has said you're competent, you're qualified, you're an instrument. God wants to use you. So you don't need to get out of the way. You don't need to decrease. God wants all of you. God doesn't want us to be spiritual midgets. Like, I don't understand, like, how much do we need to decrease? Do you see what we've done? We think we're bad. We think God can't use us. But God has equipped us. He's qualified us. He's made us new. And so true biblical humility is agreeing with what God says even when we don't feel it. Guys, I don't feel righteous and holy all the time. I don't feel like a saint. I don't feel like a masterpiece. Hello? We all don't. But by faith, I can choose to believe in what God says about me even when I don't feel it. So we walk by faith, Paul says, not by sight. And so God wants to use all of you because he's equipped you and qualified you. He's poured out his love into your heart, Romans 5 said. 5:5. Romans 6:17, he's made you obedient. So you're an instrument of God. You're not in his way. You're an instrument of God. He doesn't want less of you. He wants all of you. You're an instrument of God. He wants to use you to love those in this world. So let's ditch the lie of John 3:30 that we need to apply this every day to our lives. You don't need to decrease. God wants to use all of you. He's in union with you. He's equipped you. Yes, God's going to use you, and God's going to get the glory, and God's using you, but he's using you. We have this other idea that we're just like this hollow tube that Jesus lives his life through, that we're just this impersonal thing. But no, God uses our personalities. He uses everything about who he's made us, and he expresses himself through us. He uses us. It's both of us. We're a team here. Yes, God's the strength. God's the power. God is motivating and inspiring, but he's using us. We're a team. We're in this together. It's not less of us and more of him. It's all of us. and He's using that to love those around us.
You've been listening to the Daily Devotional Podcast with Zach Maldonado. Join us each day for a new devotional that will help you know and enjoy Christ. For more great content from Zach, including his books, sermons, and more, check out ZachMaldonado.com.